Good afternoon. My name is Claire Murphy, and I'm a parent of a kindergartner at Houston Elementary. Thank you so much for the opportunity to testify before the committee today. I'll begin by acknowledging that we've signed my daughter up to participate in the hybrid plan. She's currently scheduled to be in a cohort of 6 kids. 12 out of the 17 kids in her kindergarten class chose hybrid, and I think it's 23 per day in total in the building. Our family feels that with the added safety measures, masks, social distancing, testing, and keeping cohorts as separate as possible, that it is a safe plan for that small number of young children in a large building. And I'll just say that our 5-year-old has gotten very used to a mask. I wasn't sure about it over the summer, but they seem to be doing very well with it. Our teacher has been absolutely amazing, but my very social 5-year-old is honestly really, really struggling emotionally with staying home, not being able to go to school. Like so many other people she knows at private schools, suburban schools, and friends a few months younger that are in preschool that are all open. I really don't think we can make it until next fall and miss kindergarten completely. That being said, I understand that teachers don't feel completely safe returning in person, especially if the district ramps up to older students. I was glad to see that CHOP is helping vaccinate teachers next week. I think they should have mass vaccination events for only Philadelphia public school K through 2 staff so they can have their first dose as soon as possible. And we need to have an urgent plan to repair or replace the ventilation before the fall in at least the 32 schools that have been mentioned as not having mechanical ventilation. And I worry that if Philadelphia public schools have to stay closed all this year and through the fall while every other school is open, it could lead to a steep decline in enrollment and confidence that we might never recover from. But fixing the ventilation is going to cost a lot of money. I haven't seen an estimate, but I found my school's facility condition report from 2017, and it gives a lot of details about the state of the old house fan system, which doesn't bring in outside air. It recommends replacement and lists the cost for just that at $3 million. That's for one school, so the district would need over $96 million, not including more repairs to newer schools. I don't think we can keep schools closed until that's all done, but there needs to be a plan. And how are we going to get this money? Why does our city not fully fund our public schools? It's another symptom of our community not prioritizing our schools. We've allowed restaurants, gyms, salons, private schools, anything that makes money to open and drive up community spread numbers while our kids are stuck at home. It's time to figure out where the money needs to come from to fund our schools. I think that's up to City Council. The federal funds for COVID relief might help this year, and maybe the state fair funding reform will help, but those sources are only a fraction of where our funding comes from. Suburban districts fully fund their public schools with higher property taxes. So is there a way to raise property taxes and demand full pilot programs without pricing out lower income residents of the city? Are there other revenue sources that could be found? I know that it might be very difficult, but not paying for basic building maintenance, lead and asbestos abatement, and safe ventilation during a pandemic is not an option anymore. Thank you for your time.